After being reborn, the first thing I did was buy the villa next door that belonged to a corrupt official. When my boyfriend insisted on bringing his entire family to visit my home, I took them there instead. In my previous life, after they visited my home, they refused to leave. His sister even outright took over my room, forcing me to move into the school dormitory. My life spiraled into misfortune. I didn't even manage to graduate from college, and my parents, who had sacrificed themselves for their work, were posthumously accused of corruption and labeled as having committed suicide out of guilt. After leaving the courthouse, I was hit by a car in a daze and died. An intense sense of unwillingness kept my soul lingering in this world. Eventually, when I returned to my old home, I overheard a conversation between my boyfriend's family, who still lived there. "Good son, you're so clever to have found someone so perfect for our family. Dong's parents are both high-ranking officials. After transferring their fortune to our family, you successfully passed the civil service exam. You're sure to rise steadily in your career. Her maternal grandparents were merchants, so wealthy. Your father's business is thriving now, and our family has become rich too. Dongji grew up quite beautiful too. Look at our Yi now, so stunning she could be a big star. Who told them to only have that worthless girl? They were destined to have no heirs anyway. You still need to have sons. Today's the day to bring honor to our ancestors, so it's you. I deserve to die for failing to see people clearly, but my parents' lifelong integrity, your entire family's worthless lives couldn't begin to repay that debt. Hello everyone, welcome to Glimmer of Love. Gigi, is this your home? What a big house." My boyfriend Ren Xiaoyuan's mother pushed open the courtyard gate and walked in, looking around incessantly while marveling. "Auntie, come in quickly." I stood at the front door, waving enthusiastically at them, making a fuss over nothing. How embarrassing. Father Ren walked in with his hands clasped behind his back, pacing confidently as if it were his own house. "Mom, this is Gigi's home. Not some stranger's place. You can stay here comfortably. It's practically your own." Ren Xiaoyuan followed behind, sweating profusely while carrying a pile of luggage. "This place is nice, but the takeout can't get in. It's really inconvenient. If it weren't for you inviting me, I wouldn't want to stay here at all." His sister Rennie, carrying a small bag, kept taking photos of the house and yard while complaining non-stop. "You're going to stay at my place?" I was utterly surprised, frowning as I looked at Ren Xiaoyuan. "What's yours is mine. With our bond, aren't we practically family?" Ren Xiaoyuan set down his luggage, wrapped an arm around me, and led me inside, whispering pleadingly in my ear, "Come on, hey, save me some face. My parents suddenly said they're coming to visit. You know I don't earn much from my part-time job. I can't afford to put them up in a hotel. They'll just stay here temporarily." "Okay, don't worry, it's only for a few days. I'll figure something out soon." "Well, just a few days, then." I hesitated before reluctantly agreeing. "You talk so much. Where are we staying?" Rennie walked in impatiently, not even glancing at me as she headed upstairs and chose the prettiest room before stepping inside. "This room is nice. I'm taking it." "Hey, you can't just barge in. You can't stay in my or my parents' room." Seeing this, I quickly tried to stop her, but Ren Xiaoyuan grabbed my arm, preventing me from moving. "Gigi, my parents just arrived and need to rest now. Why don't you go back to school first, and we'll host you properly once we've settled in. This is my home. Why would we need your hospitality?" I was getting angry, but before I could finish speaking, Father Ren interrupted. "You ill-mannered girl, when there are men present, who are you to make decisions? We elders are willing to move in out of respect for my son. Otherwise, you, a jinx who brought death to your entire family, couldn't have invited a blessed household like ours even with 8 sedan chairs." With that, he spat toward the luxurious house. "Pa, who knows if such wealth is clean? You're getting off cheap." Seeing me furious, Ren Xiaoyuan quickly pushed me out of the room. "Good Gigi, give me some face today. I'll make it up to you when we're back at school. You're my dear grandma, my fairy queen. Wait for your sweet hubby." "Okay." Pouting, I pretended to be angry and gave him a light punch, then nodded shyly. Seeing that he had successfully appeased me, he went back inside with relief. Standing outside the door, I looked at the light inside. There was one thing Ren's father got right. This was indeed the house of a corrupt official. Our neighborhood is famously known as the affluent district of the city, inhabited by people who are either wealthy or influential. My family's house was purchased with money from my maternal grandparents. Initially, my parents thought it was too ostentatious and unsuitable for them to live in, but they eventually moved in for the sake of my education. The house next door belonged to a corrupt official who was recently investigated. He owned so many private properties that this particular one wasn't very conspicuous. The homeowners in the neighborhood were also afraid it would affect property prices, so they didn't publicize it widely. As a result, very few people know the inside story. At least someone like Ren Xiaoyuan, who comes from the countryside, definitely wouldn't know. All they know is that the owner of this house is very wealthy and can be used by them to borrow luck. I'm not entirely sure what they're planning to do, only that they must stay in this house for 49 days. It's just over a month. I'll accommodate you. Although Ren Xiaoyuan said he would come to school to see me, he only contacted me a few times by phone, probing in his words to see how I was doing lately. Naturally, I played along with his tone. Complaining about everything. Poor relationships with classmates, teachers giving me a hard time, tripping and falling outside, making myself sound as unlucky as possible. It wasn't until the court contacted me to handle the property transfer. Yes. Although I successfully bid on the corrupt official's villa next door and paid in full, the property hasn't been transferred yet. Legally, the house still belongs to the corrupt official. I couldn't possibly be foolish enough to put the property under my name knowing they intended to seize fortune through the house. I took the court-issued auction purchase confirmation to the property management, informing them that I had bought the house but hadn't completed the transfer yet. I mentioned that some relatives were coming and wanted them to move in temporarily. Since it was vacant anyway and the court wouldn't interfere, the property management naturally agreed. Calculating the time, there were still a few days left until the 49-day period. After confirming the timing with the court, I continued handling my employment matters. My major was related to national defense, and because of my parents' status, the state offered special preferential treatment to children of martyrs. My job placement was secured as early as my junior year, waiting only for me to report directly after graduation. In my previous life, because of this despicable family, my parents were inexplicably labeled as having committed suicide to avoid punishment, and my job was revoked. This time, everything went smoothly. After handling my thesis matters, I applied to leave campus early, without informing Ren Xiaoyuan. I went directly to my workplace to report and began adapting to the high-intensity work environment. Before even 49 days had passed, I received a frantic call from Ren Xiaoyuan, who urgently asked, "Gigi, where have you gone? Why aren't you at school? I need to talk to you about something important." "What's the emergency?" "I'm on my graduation trip. Today I got caught in a huge rainstorm and I'm stuck in the hotel." I lazily brushed him off while flipping through news on my tablet. "Are you okay?" He paused for a moment before cautiously probing further. "I don't know what's going on lately, but nothing seems to be going right. That's why I decided to take this trip to relax, and now this happens. Troubles really follow me everywhere. So annoying." "Oh, well, stay safe then. Don't go wandering around. My dad fell down your stairs, and I was just about to ask you to come take a look. He fell." I was a bit surprised. Wasn't it too early for their bad luck to start? "Why are you still living in my house? Didn't you say it would only be for a few days?" I didn't respond to his remark. If this continued, he'd be asking me to cover the medical bills. "So how much rent are you planning to pay after staying this long?" I joked. "A villa this big must cost tens of thousands a month. When are you going to pay me?" "Honey, how dare you ask us for money, you little slut?" Mother Wren's shrill voice came through the phone, sounding utterly furious. "You damned jinx. Finding a son like mine is luck that would make our ancestors' graves smoke with joy, and now you dare ask us for money just for letting you stay in your own house." "Mom, keep your voice down," Ren Xiaoyuan whispered hesitantly on the other end. "What's there to fear? There are only 2 days left anyway." The voice on the phone suddenly grew quieter. After a long pause, Ren Xiaoyuan's voice finally returned. "Gigi, don't blame my mom, okay? She speaks so bluntly because she treats you like family. It's mainly because my dad hurt his back and can't move at all now. She's just really worried. Does being in a hurry give you the right to insult me? There's no need to pretend with them anymore. So I lashed out directly. What right does a rural old woman like her have to scold me? Your ancestors must have been burning with envy for you to live in this house. Even if your family worked hard for 10 lifetimes, you still couldn't afford it. Dating someone like you is truly a stain on my record. Let's break up. Take your noble parents and get out of my house, without waiting for his retort. I quickly hung up the phone and blocked and deleted him in one swift motion. The feeling of running away after scolding someone is truly exhilarating. There's no way their family would obediently leave just like that. My outburst was merely to intimidate him into not pestering me for his father's medical expenses. Who knows how severe this streak of bad luck is? Will his father's back ever straighten again? From Ren Xiaoyuan's repeated phone harassment. It's clear that his father's back is in very bad shape. He contacted all my classmates and friends, frantically trying to get information about me. Fortunately, the company issued me a work phone. I kept my old number just to stay updated on news about Ren Xiaoyuan's family. Gigi. Did you know Ren Xiaoyuan's been really unlucky lately? My roommate gossiped in our dorm group chat. Some wild boars got into campus, and instead of running away, he just stood there, got knocked over and had a chunk of his face bitten off, totally disfigured now. He's been constantly talking about taking the civil service exam, and now his dream is shattered. Completely impossible. Several people in the group burst into pig-like laughter. Ha ha ha, ooh. Although it's really unfortunate, I just can't help it. You didn't even see how he got knocked flying. I laughed so hard I lost all my karma points. His mom came to the school later and made a scene, saying, "My son is destined for wealth and honor. He's going to be a high-ranking official. Selling your entire school wouldn't be enough to compensate. Now everyone calls him the new principal. Whenever they see him, they beg him not to sell the school, at least not until we get our diplomas. His family hasn't given up on finding you yet. You'd better be careful. Don't let them drag you into their mess. Don't worry." I laughed until my voice went hoarse, took a sip of water, and joked with them. We're a confidential institution. The school wouldn't dare reveal anything. And besides, how could someone like him, a wealthy high-ranking official, ever get into our humble, underpaid unit? You should be careful too. They know we're friends, so watch out for them harassing you. That family is like a pack of rabid dogs. No kidding. They came to us before, saying if you didn't show up, they'd burn your house down. The friend scoffed. Using illegal threats to intimidate people. That's a new low even for me. They'd dare burn a house down. Does that mean the house is just a medium? After borrowing luck through the house, does it not matter to them how this medium is dealt with? If the homeowner needs to reverse their fortune, do they still need this house? Once they set it on fire, can the fortune no longer be reversed? Interesting. I've already had my lawyer complete the transfer for me. Now this is my house. Setting a fire in my own home that doesn't affect others, is that illegal? There are always unknown calls on my phone. Usually, it's turned off and they can't get through, but when I'm chatting with friends at night, it gives them an opportunity. Dongji, get your ass back here. Ren Xiaoyuan had long lost his former gentleness and composure. What the hell did you do? Why is my family suffering such misfortune? Hearing his frantic shouts, I calmly asked, "You're really strange, you know. Why do you assume I did something just because your family's having bad luck? Are you suggesting your family's misfortune is being manipulated by someone? Was your father pushed off by someone, and someone controlled the wild boar to attack you? Was someone forcing your mother to cause a scene at school, making you lose face? Ren Xiaoyuan, are you out of your mind?" He fell silent for a moment, then immediately became self-righteous. "It's you. Ever since my family moved into your house, we've been plagued with bad luck. You've transferred all your family's misfortune onto mine. I'm going to report you to your workplace. You're a witch." When people are utterly speechless, they really do laugh. I couldn't hold back. Ren Xiaoyuan, listen to yourself. Have all those years of education gone to waste? The country has nurtured you for so many years, yet it hasn't cured your superstitious feudal mindset. Don't you know that spirits aren't allowed to manifest after the founding of the People's Republic? A demoness. Forget reporting me. Just call the police and have them burn me at the stake, Moran. I shouldn't have answered his call out of curiosity. The next day, the property management contacted me, saying the people living in my house were verifying with them whether I was the actual owner of the property. Unfortunately, the transfer had already been completed. Even when checking with the housing authority, it was confirmed to be my house. How are they still living there? Could you please help me evict them? They've lived here long enough. In my past life, when I died without handling my inheritance, they seized my house and I couldn't do anything about it. But now, they've stolen my luck. And we've already torn up all pretenses. There's no reason to let them keep squatting in my house. It didn't take long for Ren Xiaoyuan's call to come through. I didn't reject it, instead happily listening to his entire family screaming and cursing on the other end of the line. Dongji, you bitch. How dare you kick us out? You whore who's been used up by my brother. How dare you rebel? Don't pull me. If you dare touch me, my brother will kill you. If she hadn't kept calling him brother, I wouldn't have recognized that hoarse, duck-like voice as Rennie's. Who knows whose fate she's carrying? She doesn't sound like a beauty. What a pity for her starry dreams. This is my daughter-in-law's house. Why can't I live here? Tell that little bitch to come say it to my face. See if I don't tear her apart. Now you think I'm your daughter-in-law. Weren't you calling me a jinx when you were attacking me? Son, hurry up and think of something. These servants are rebelling. We're property management, caretakers, not servants. The property manager's voice was weary with resignation. You're not the homeowners here. We've received direct instructions from the actual owner. You must leave immediately, or we'll call the police. Are you satisfied now? Ren Xiaoyuan's voice was full of disappointment. Does getting revenge on me make you happy? Gigi, you've changed. You're now materialistic and ruthless, so vicious it's hard to look at. Ren Xiaoyuan. You've changed too. You're now vain and down and out, so pathetic it stinks. It's just PUA. Who can't do that? You're not striving to improve, not thinking about graduating properly or working hard, squatting in my villa without leaving. Your whole family is shameless maggots, thieves, coveting things that don't belong to you. My family's wealth was earned through generations of hard work by my parents. If you want money, go curse your ancestors' graves. Right now, you have no looks, no job, a bad reputation, and every single person in your family is worthless. What right do you have to be disappointed in me? Meeting you is what I regret. Yesterday you doubted whether this was my house, didn't you? Do you understand now, after venting with my mouth? All the suffering from my work was purified. Fine, you asked for it. He left these words fiercely and hung up the phone. Even if I'm pushing you, what else can you do? Ren Xiaoyuan reported my parents for embezzlement. And when I heard the news, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. I fully cooperate with the Supervision Commission's work. After taking leave from work, I returned home. At the entrance of the villa, I ran into Ren Xiaoyuan and a group of Disciplinary Inspection and Supervision Commission staff. Dongji, Ren Xiaoyuan has filed a real name report alleging your family possesses huge unexplained funds. We need your cooperation in the investigation. Of course. I retrieved the keys from the property management and cooperatively opened the door. As soon as we entered the villa, Ren Xiaoyuan confidently made his way to the study on the second floor. He pulled open a concealed cabinet revealing an upward-leading staircase and said to the inspection committee members, "It's up there, there's a hidden room full of money." The staff gave me a stern glance, then crouched and climbed into the cabinet. What he said is true, it's full of cash. An enormous amount. The voice came from inside, and the staff outside quickly gathered around. A woman grabbed my arm, preventing me from moving. Explain this. Dongji, do you know anything about this money? Did your parents mention it to you? Seeing their serious expressions, I smiled innocently. I bought this house after my parents passed away. It was a foreclosure auction property. I've never lived here a single day, so I have no idea what's going on. Watching Ren Xiaoyuan's shocked expression, I smiled even more casually. Right after I won the bid, their family forcibly moved in and occupied it. I didn't even know there was a hidden room here. Seems like your family knows this house inside out. Searched every corner. We need to verify your statement. Hearing this, the female staff member relaxed noticeably. Releasing her grip on me, I nodded and produced the auction and transfer documents I had brought with me. Upon seeing a shocking name, the two staff members exchanged glances and spoke to me gently. "All right, we'll need to take these materials back for review. There shouldn't be any issues on your end. The property will need to be sealed temporarily to check for any other oversights," I replied calmly. "Understood. I'll return to work for now. Please inform me if anything else comes up. I'll cooperate fully." Seeing me come downstairs unharmed, Ren Xiaoyuan immediately followed. "What do you mean? This isn't your house," he snapped at me angrily. "Of course it's my house. Didn't you see the property deed?" I replied with genuine confusion. "This isn't your ancestral home. Didn't you say you'd lived here for decades?" His voice rose sharply as he accused me of playing dumb. "You promised to take me back to your old family home, but instead, it's just a newly bought house. How disrespectful can you be? What's so disrespectful about this?" I started mocking. "And your family respects people. You said you'd just come take a look, but the whole family clung on like parasites. Once you're in, you won't leave. What? One glance and it's yours now. Then why don't you go take a look at the Forbidden City?" So, he finally couldn't take it anymore and shouted hysterically. "This really isn't your home. You lied to me. I told you, this is my home. I have the property deed." I continued playing innocent. "Are you out of your mind? Your goal was just to freeload. Why do you care if my place is new or old? What, is there formaldehyde in new houses? So it was you? All the misfortunes in my family lately have been because of you." He began to roar, charging at me until he was so close I could smell the foul stench from his mouth. "What are you doing?" Seeing his sudden outburst, the security guard at the door immediately rushed in and grabbed hold of him. "You vile wretch, you caused my father's paralysis, ruined my face, destroyed my career, and disfigured my sister. I'll make you pay with your life." Restrained by two security guards, he struggled violently like a monkey, his disfigured face twisting even more grotesquely. "Where is your house? Where is your old home? Just take me there, and I promise I'll marry you. We'll get married right away. Gigi, believe me, I'm willing to marry you." He was acting like a madman, one moment shouting hysterically, the next pouring out exaggerated affection. Hearing the commotion, the disciplinary inspection committee members inside rushed out, seeing the chaos outside. They hurriedly asked what was happening. I looked at them with panic as I explained the entire incident. "So, not only did his family bully you, an orphaned girl, trying to seize your house, but they also blamed everything that happened at home on you. After your breakup, to get revenge, he even falsely accused your parents of corruption, and now they want to physically attack you." The absurdity of the situation left everyone utterly astonished. "His family is from the countryside and might be a bit superstitious," I quietly added fuel to the fire. "Anyway, he can't take the civil service exam anymore, so let them be superstitious. This isn't ordinary superstition. It's bordering on cult behavior," the disciplinary inspection officer said sternly, adjusting his glasses. When he filed the report, he even suggested that if the allegations were true, he should be allowed to take the civil service exam under disability status. "The ideological awareness issue here is extremely serious. We'll document this case upon our return. Even if he passes the exam, he'll never clear the political review." Well. I watched Ren Xiaoyuan standing there dumbfounded with Schadenfreude, patting his shoulder sympathetically. "My condolences. It's all your fault, all yours." He became frantic at the sight of me, struggling desperately to lunge forward. "If you had obediently taken me back to the old house, none of this would have happened. Our whole family would have been fine. I would have risen rapidly in my career. My father would have been rolling in wealth. You vile woman, it's all your fault. I'll kill you. Killing you will make everything right." Seeing him so deranged, my colleagues from the disciplinary committee quickly shielded me. "We'll take you back, until this matter is resolved. Don't leave the office." "All right." I obediently followed them, glancing back at Ren Xiaoyuan who was still restrained, and silently mouthed, "Serves you right." Upon seeing this, he began roaring again. "Did you do this on purpose? Do you know something? You did it on purpose. You're trying to harm us. Arrest her. She's plotting murder for money." Unfortunately, no one present would listen to his ravings. Even though these words were the absolute truth, after returning to work, I lived a peaceful life for some time, until the disciplinary inspection committee informed me that there was 87.61 million yuan in cash hidden in the secret room of the house. I was astonished by the sheer amount. They also went to the prison to verify with the corrupt official, who was initially shocked upon hearing the amount and then remained silent. They had him sign to confirm this, and he didn't resist, obediently writing his name. They conducted a thorough search of the house, confirmed nothing was left behind, and then placed the keys with the property management. I expressed my gratitude, and they also eliminated a hidden danger for me, a danger that could have cost me my life. I heard Xiao Yuan Ren had a mental breakdown, left without even taking his diploma. During our nightly dorm chat, my best friend who stayed in town remained as dedicated to gossip as ever. Rumor has it he abandoned everything in his dorm. When they called his family, his mother said it was all junk, beneath their standards, and told the school to just throw it away. Guess misfortune finally got to them. Whole family's gone mental now. Listening to their puzzled words, my mind began to clear. I had always found the amount of cash hidden in the secret room strange, specifically stashed away, yet with both large and small denominations. The corrupt official's attitude in prison was also quite peculiar. Now that I think about it, the most likely explanation is that there was originally a neat sum of 100 million yuan. Their family gradually took away over 10 million, but then encountered a string of misfortunes at home. Given how superstitious they are, they might have suspected that the money was cursed by my family, which is why they dared not touch the rest. Might as well report it, let my family be completely ruined so their family's luck can turn around. What a pity. With all this commotion they've caused, not only have they cleared me and this money of suspicion, but they've also drawn the attention of those secretly watching over this sum onto their own family. They wouldn't seriously believe such a large amount of money has no owner. Would they? People simply can't hold on to wealth that doesn't match their level of understanding. Moreover, this wealth was ill-gotten in the first place, and a single misstep could turn it into blood money. Before any news of the Ren family's misfortune arrived, the property management delivered devastating news. My house had caught fire. It was likely the newly purchased villa that had gone up in flames. The living room, 2 bedrooms, and the study all caught fire simultaneously. The blaze was too intense to contain, and the house was completely destroyed. It seems the Ren family wanted to break the life-swapping curse and had no choice but to take desperate risks. It was an unwanted house anyway, so I'm not heartbroken about it, but how dare they burn it down? Do they really think the police are useless? I didn't go back personally, leaving everything to the property management to handle and cooperate with the police investigation. With surveillance cameras everywhere nowadays, even cockroaches can't escape. Dongji, did you miss me? Never before had I found someone's voice so utterly nauseating. Did you burn my house down? I turned on another phone to start recording. What house? What are you talking about? His voice was triumphant, yet his words revealed nothing. I called just because I missed you. We've been together for so long, and even though there were some misunderstandings later, it would never affect our feelings. He spoke tenderly on the other end. Viji, even if you've maliciously schemed against me, I'm willing to forgive you. I don't mind that you bring misfortune to your parents and even affected mine. My parents are willing to forgive you too. I'm willing to marry you. Even if you're materialistic and money-loving, my dad recently made a big profit from an investment. I rolled my eyes listening to this, suppressing my disgust to see what he was up to. Just like before, as long as you take me back to your ancestral home, we'll get married right away. I was so angry I laughed. You still haven't given up, Ren Xiaoyuan, though I don't know what scheme you're plotting, or what in my old house has kept you obsessed for so long. Unfortunately, you destroyed it yourself. What do you mean? What destruction? He finally lost his composure, reverting to madness. Wasn't it you who set this fire? I said coldly. I set fire to the corrupt official's house, he roared on the other end. So it was you who started the fire, I shouted angrily, slamming the table. You tricked me, you lied to me. He seemed relieved, not caring at all about what he had just confessed. I didn't lie to you. Seeing him relax, I twisted the knife further. Your fire spread to the neighboring villa, destroying 30% of it. It's uninhabitable now. That's my old house. I smiled as I listened to his futile rage. What you wanted was right next to you all along, and now, you've destroyed it yourself. Ah, Xiaoyuan, what's wrong with you? Someone, quick, call an ambulance. The screams of Ren's mother came through the phone, sounding like heavenly music to my ears. I listened happily for a good while before hanging up. Actually, my old house wasn't severely damaged, but seeing how unwilling they were to give up, I decided to demolish it quickly anyway. Since the fire-damaged hazardous building had to be torn down, I figured I might as well demolish both houses together. Ren Xiaoyuan had previously just been overwhelmed by anger. After staying in the hospital for a few days, he was discharged. However, when he sneaked into the neighborhood and saw the two nearly demolished ruins, he couldn't hold back and spat out another mouthful of blood. Just when I thought their family would continue harassing me, they disappeared. There was no trace of them anywhere. People from their village said that after the Ren family succeeded in their city investments and returned dressed in gold and silver, they loved gambling with people from neighboring villages. High-stakes games where tens of thousands could be won or lost in a single night. Ren's father, that paralyzed man, had a crowd of people willing to serve him, pushing him around to join the gambling tables like some grand elder. Mother Ren was much more low-key. Though she aged quickly and looked unwell, she was covered in gold from head to hand. She won't step out without wearing several pounds of gold, and then she flaunts those claws of hers. It was clear the neighboring aunties had long harbored resentment. Rennie spent a fortune on plastic surgery, molding herself into a standard internet-famous face. Finally able to be an influencer, she now stays home every day live-streaming her lavish lifestyle, calling herself a socialite. Ren Xiaoyuan was truly in a bad way. Since childhood, his family had pinned all their hopes on him, exhausting every resource to elevate him. Wasn't it all for him to bring honor to the family? No amount of wealth could compare to the dignity of even a low-level civil servant. Disfigured and with a record at the Supervisory Commission, his dreams of becoming a civil servant were utterly dashed. Now he stays holed up at home daily, feeling as if his spine had been ripped out. Unable to lift his head under the weight of everyone's stares, the villagers originally thought his family could live so arrogantly forever, but suddenly one day, a few people claiming to be friends of the Ren family from the city came, stayed overnight at their house, and the next day, the Ren family disappeared. When those people left, they only told outsiders that they had another investment project and were taking the Ren family to make more money. Some villagers even approached them, asking if they could also be taken along to get rich, but were politely shut down with a smile. Investing requires capital. Do you have any money? So the Ren family had money, the villagers retorted indignantly. They're loaded, they've got over 10 million on them. My goodness. They've really struck it rich out there. The villagers marveled enviously. Looks like they won't be coming back this time. With tens of millions, who'd return to this rundown countryside, hearing this news. I was certain their family wouldn't be able to bother me anymore. Those who took dirty money naturally had their lives claimed. It wasn't quite what I expected. They didn't die, to be precise. Not all of them died. Years later, the country cracked down on telecom fraud and brought back a large number of fraudsters from overseas. I was originally enjoying the drama with great enthusiasm, marveling at how strong and authoritative the state's actions were. Suddenly, I received a call from the detention center, saying that one of the individuals involved in the case wanted to see me. Out of curiosity, I met with him accompanied by the police. Long time no see. Gigi, seeing me like this. Do you miss me? It turned out to be Ren Xiaoyuan. He looked completely different from before. The scars on his face were now tattooed with patterns, appearing both terrifying and ridiculous. You got a tattoo, now you can't take the civil service exam. I sneered at him coldly. I've been ineligible for the civil service long ago. You're the one who ruined me. He kept repeating these tired old lines, as if without me, he'd have had a bright future ahead. Without me, you'd still be a poor nobody. I spared no effort in crushing him. Right now, you're exactly where you belong. No, I was supposed to be successful. My dad's business made him rich. Everyone should have looked up to me, should have begged me. His eyes darted nervously as he muttered to himself. Think carefully. How did you achieve career success? Could he possibly remember his past life? I began to guide him. My family succeeded in swapping fates. My family succeeded in swapping fates. His voice grew louder. Yes, why won't you die? It's all because of you. If only you'd die, my family could live well. Why won't you just die, officer? Isn't he just pretending to be mentally ill to avoid punishment? Having heard what I wanted to know, I couldn't bear to look at his face any longer and turned to lodge another complaint with the police. Not just him. His sister is also pretending to be mentally ill. The officer looked quite exasperated. She claims to be a big celebrity, stunningly beautiful, and accuses male officers of liking her if they so much as glance at her. She makes a scene everywhere, causing quite a disturbance. Is his sister involved in fraud? I really didn't know about that. It seems their whole family offended someone back home. His father's body was found a few years ago, with his corneas and some organs removed. The case has never been solved. His mother, sister, and he were sold to northern Myanmar. His mother was poorly educated and too old to be useful, so she was beaten to death not long after. He and his sister survived, and apparently showed great talent in fraud, harming many people. This time, they're considered principal offenders and were extradited to face justice. They actually harmed people. I started blaming those corrupt officials for sparing their lives. Rather than letting them harm so many innocent people, it would have been better if they had died in the first place. These people have no moral bottom line at all. They deceive others for money and harm lives without any psychological burden. I complained to the police. Don't worry, they will receive the punishment they deserve, the police assured me. As I walked out of the police station, I looked back at the national emblem, hoping only that all those beasts who harm others for their own selfish desires would be brought to justice. No excuse should serve as a reason to lessen their guilt. That's all for today's story. If you've listened this far, please leave happy every day in the comments. A little light wishes everyone happiness every day.